Welcome to the beginning of the second episode of our thrilling series. At the end of the previous episode, John found himself facing a mysterious shadow that whispered to him, saying, "You are mine now." With these words, his journey into a world of horror and mystery began. Will John be able to escape this dark fate? Let's dive into the details together. John woke up on this new day, and despite the sun shining, a mysterious darkness surrounded him. Strange whispers manifested the pains of his soul, as if something was urging him to wear the shoe again. His thoughts transformed into a nightmare trapped by memories that wouldn't leave him. When he wore it, he felt an unusual surge of energy flowing through his body, a thrilling boost, but it came at a price. Disturbing thoughts surged in his mind. Is this shoe the cause of my suffering? His mind answered, no, there is something more terrifying. As he walked down the street, his steady footsteps echoed on the pavement, and the story began to unfold. Suddenly, he heard a woman scream begging for help. He looked back to see two young men stealing her phone. Fear was etched on her face, as if she were witnessing a nightmare with her eyes wide open. Without hesitation, John rushed like an arrow, leaping across the pavement with a power he had never experienced before. As motorcycles chased them, he realized there was an inner strength within him. Amid the rush, he began to notice strange things dancing around him, shadows moving as if they were following them. In a critical moment, John managed to catch up with the thieves and successfully grabbed one of them. But as the whispers intensified in his mind, he realized there was something lurking in the darkness. After saving the woman, the whispers grew louder. "You are consuming your soul." The voice sounded like screams emanating from the depths of beings. On that dark night, he wished he could sleep, but the dreams were swaying and troubling him even more. He dreamed of beings from darkness, battling against light. He had a strong sense that there was an ancient struggle taking place in this world. As he tried to wake up, he felt a chill creeping over his body, as if the shadows were pulling away what little energy he had left. Finally, he opened his eyes to find the light in his home. With the morning rays, he was startled to find that his friend Mike hadn't responded to his calls. He rushed to his chaotic house. The doors were open, and anxiety seeped into his heart like a dagger. When he entered, he stumbled upon the lifeless body of his friend Mike, surrounded by mysterious hieroglyphs. His mind was confused. How could this happen? It took time for him to comprehend the horrifying scene before him. In the corner, there was an old photo of the two of them together, but the symbols had appeared on it as if they were speaking to him. Days continued to pass, and as time went on, another horrifying news reached him. Sarah, a colleague who had been getting close to him, was found dead in her car. His heart shattered with pain, and his mind spun in circles of questions. Everyone talked about the darkness surrounding these incidents. Was the shoe the cause of this? The question swirled around his mind like a nightmare. He began to realize that his suffering might be suspicious, and that a curse was pursuing him. John decided to investigate it himself. The old books in the library became his refuge, and he sifted through letters and papers. In search of answers, a strange sign appeared before him, pointing to an ancient curse. While he was writing his notes, an elderly man approached him with wise eyes. "Shoes are not just shoes, my boy. Anyone who wears them leaves a mark. You need to diminish their power before what remains of you gets consumed." Those words served as a wake-up call, but his fate became tied to something greater. It took him a long time to understand the moment, but he decided to return to his roots and the ancient history. There was something that needed to be uncovered. As days passed, the shadow grew closer, lurking as if it were stalking him. One night, while running after sunset, an unexpected shiver seized him. Without warning, the shadow appeared before him suddenly, looming over the darkness of the street. "What do you want from me?" John asked. "You are consuming your soul, just as I consumed mine in the past." He prepared to face what he feared. It felt like a confrontation with the past, with memories and dark souls. Would he be able to escape this shadow that sought to possess him? On that night, as he tried to sleep, he heard the whispers seeping into his ears. "You are mine now." The words were like a sinister sword. He tried to pull away from the shoe, but the unseen hand was pulling him towards it. "No. I don't want this. Everything you start, you cannot escape. You are mine now." In that moment, caught between light and darkness, John felt the mounting pressure, and he had to choose: would he accept that power within him or fight against it? Things had always been more complicated than they seemed, and he was trapped within the curse of the golden shoe. In the darkness of the night, under the faint moonlight, John finds himself imprisoned by the power of the golden shoe. His eyes widen in fear as he recalls the mysterious whispers that choke his mind. "You are mine now." But what he doesn't know is that the shoe forms a gateway to a dark, merciless world. Haunted by terrifying thoughts, John tosses and turns in his bed. But sleep eludes him, and a voice is heard from the depths of his room: "You are mine now." Despite his attempts to distance himself from the shoe, an unseen force pulls him closer, and he finds himself forced to wear it once more. As he puts it on, a strange energy flows through his body, as if he has plunged into a new realm of horror. From that moment on, John feels that the mysterious shadow is chasing him like a never-ending nightmare. On one grim day, while he is running at superhuman speed, he senses the shadow creeping closer. It moves alongside him, gleaming, as if it is part of his being. In his desperation, he attempts to flee, but his shadow continues to pursue him. Finally, he stops, looks at it, and the shadow whispers, "You consume your soul as I consumed mine." After contemplating the situation, John decides to investigate this mystery for himself. He heads to the local library, a treasure trove of knowledge and intrigue. Among the stacked shelves, he notices an old man, wearing thick glasses and a white beard. Much like the library, he seems to know everything hidden within the pages of the books. As the librarian, he senses that something unusual is happening. John approaches and asks, "Do you have books on ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics?" The old man smiles and replies, "I'm Dr. Samir. We have a special section on Egyptian artifacts. Follow me." They begin together toward the rare books section. As John anxiously flips through the pages, he feels Dr. Samir watching him closely. After a moment of silence, he says, "I see you're interested in hieroglyphics. Did something happen?" John decides to open his heart, recounting his tale of the golden shoe and the death of his friends. Dr. Samir listens with interest before speaking. "I've heard of this curse before. It brings darkness to those involved." Dr. Samir points to an ancient book. The golden shoe belonged to a great pharaoh, Amenhotep III. With its magic, a curse was placed on anyone who wears it. John, shocked, asks, "Is there any way to break the curse?" Dr. Samir pauses thoughtfully before answering, "There is a possibility, but it's fraught with danger. You must return to the place where you found the shoe and perform the necessary rituals." Before leaving the library, the lights begin to flicker, and the air turns uncomfortably cold. A faint voice is heard from a dark corner, "You are mine now." John tries to ignore the voice, but he feels an unseen force drawing him toward the shadow, which gleams eerily. Everyone senses the fear as Dr. Samir shouts, "John! Get out of here!" With determination, John decides to confront the pharaoh in his original realm. The return home is heavy with dread, and Dr. Samir's words echo in his mind. Upon entering his apartment, he feels something unnatural lurking, as if something is waiting for him. Suddenly, the shadow appears in the corner, as if it had been watching him, whispering, "You are mine now." John refuses to give in today. He decides to embark on a journey through the desert, where it all began. With a heart full of courage, he prepares to confront his destiny, ready to enter the darkness. Determined, John packed his bags and set off toward the beginning of it all, the secret room in the desert where he had found the shoe. After hours of travel, he arrived at the spot, half buried in sand. The atmosphere was heavy, as if the place burdened memories of darkness. As he entered the room, John found that the stone sarcophagus that had contained the shoe was wide open. The hieroglyphs on the walls shimmered mysteriously, as if narrating the story of the curse. He began deciphering the engravings and discovered that the shoe belonged to an ambitious pharaoh who sought to control time itself. But the power came at a dreadful price, the soul of whoever wore the shoe. Realization struck John: the shoe was designed to steal the souls of its wearers, and the shadow that pursued him was the pharaoh's own spirit, trying to regain its strength through John. In one of the engravings, he noticed a peculiar symbol indicating a way to destroy the shoe. Only through complete sacrifice can the curse be broken. Feeling the weight of this new knowledge, John's heart raced. He needed to prepare himself for what lay ahead. He began to think about the cost of power, the toll it had taken on his life and the lives of others. He realized that he needed to confront not just the curse, but also his own fears. After setting his mind, John closed his eyes, drew in a deep breath, and envisioned his friends, Mike laughing with him at school, Sarah smiling at him at work. The memories gave him strength, they were the foundation he would fight to reclaim. With fierce determination, John decided his quest had to lead to a final confrontation. He left the room and journeyed back to the desolate sands of the desert where he last faced the shadow. As John approached a high cliff edge, he felt the air around him grow colder, heavier. Suddenly, he heard heavy footsteps behind him. Turning around, he saw the shadow manifesting more clearly than ever, its form solidifying before his eyes. Gone were the whispers, now, they transformed into clear, menacing voices. "You are mine now. You cannot escape me." John panicked and tried to flee, but the shadow was quicker. In a moment of desperation, he put on the golden shoe once more and felt the strange energy surge through his body. But he knew he had to harness this power to end the curse. He started running at superhuman speed, frantically searching for a way to destroy the shoe. As he ran, vivid memories flashed before him: Mike's laughter, Sarah's smile, even his moments of solitude in his dim apartment. Each memory reminded him of what was at stake. Finally, he arrived at the edge of a high cliff in the desert. John knew this was the critical moment. The golden shoe glimmered oddly, warning him to reconsider his next move. But deep down, he understood that this was the only way to end the curse. In a powerful voice, John declared, "I will not be your slave any longer." He then leapt off the edge of the cliff, wearing the shoe. During the fall, he felt the energy of the shoe trying to grip him, as if it were pleading for him to survive. But John was resolute in wanting to end it all. The air whistled around his ears, and the wind hit his face abruptly. He closed his eyes, but quick flashes of memories continued to flood his mind: Mike laughing, Sarah smiling, and the solitude of his dimly lit apartment. All these memories served as reminders of the steep price of the power he once wore. Suddenly, John heard a strange voice emanating from the shoe, a deep voice as if it emerged from the depths of the earth. "You cannot escape me. I am part of you now," whispered the shoe. John struggled to scream, but his voice vanished into the void. Just before he hit the ground, the shadow appeared once more, grinning, fully confident that John wouldn't escape. "You are mine now," the shadow whispered. Yet, in a final moment of clarity, John gripped the shoe tightly and attempted to rip it off. "I won't allow you," John shouted. As he collided with the ground, something unexpected happened. The golden shoe exploded in a flash of bright gold light, illuminating the entire sky. The shadow howled in agony, disintegrating into tiny pieces of darkness. "No! This is impossible," the shadow screamed before disappearing entirely. John, who thought he would die, found himself lying on the sand. His body ached, but he was alive. Glancing down at his feet, he saw that the shoe had vanished, leaving behind only golden dust swirling in the air. He whispered to himself, "Everything is over," as he felt a wave of relief wash over him. Yet beneath this relief lay sorrow. The battle had taken its toll. Days later, John returned to his normal life. No more strange whispers, no shadow haunting him. However, he knew his life would never be the same. He had lost friends, and in that fight with the golden shoe, he had sacrificed a part of his soul. One evening, while sitting in his apartment, he gazed at an old photo of himself with Mike and Sarah. A bittersweet smile crossed his face as he remembered the joy and laughter they shared. Then, he turned off the lights, embracing the fading memories. John knew the curse had ended, yet the price had been steep. He would carry the burden of loss and sacrifice forever. As John sat in the dark, a profound silence enveloped him. He understood that in life, every choice comes with a cost, and that the shadows of the past will always remain, not to haunt him, but to remind him of the strength he found within. But beware. In our next story, we will take you on an exciting journey into the Pharaoh's tomb, where ancient secrets await, a new curse, or even supernatural powers that could change everyone's destiny. Are you ready to uncover what lies in the darkness of that mysterious tomb? Stay tuned for the next story, as surprises await you. Subscribe now, and get ready to dive into another world of mystery and adventure. Until we see you in the next story, stay safe, and always be prepared to face the unknown.